You could ask your learners to repeat the instructions to you. You could ask checking questions and have them answer these. You could tap into the strengths of your more confident students and have these students explain to the class what you've just asked them to do.
Hi, I'm Khanh-Duc from Gallery Teachers. Welcome to our channel. If you are an English teacher or considering becoming one, make sure that you subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell for our weekly TEFL teaching tips.
To make sure that our instructions are effective, we have to first and foremost make sure that our students are listening to us and paying attention. It's no point speaking louder, speaking above our class, if they're not looking at us, if we haven't got their eyes and ears. So make sure your students are listening to you before you begin with any type of instructions. Another tip is to keep your instructions simple and concise. Don't ramble on and on and on. Okay? Pause after each step. Explain or articulate each step in a single sentence. Sequence your instructions step by step and use signposting language to help your students follow the instructions. Avoid the use of complex language. Use simple structures. Imperatives work best. For instance, work with a partner. Open your books to page 27. Take out your dictionaries. Then, don't just tell them what to do. Show them what you want them to do. In a textbook such as this, you could point to the part of the book where you want them to focus on. If you want them to work with their vocabulary books, you could hold the vocabulary book up and say, take out your vocabulary book. If you want them to mark pages in their books using little stickies, you can hold them up too. Show, don't just tell. If you're doing more creative activities, such as role plays or group work, you can demonstrate. You can do the first stage or the first part of the activity with some volunteers. And by doing that, your learners will very quickly grasp what you actually want them to do. You've given your instructions. You want to check understanding. But don't forget, you need to check understanding effectively. And to check understanding effectively is so much more than simply asking, have you understood? Learners rarely put up their hands then and say that they've not understood what you want them to do. So how do you do this? Well, you could ask your learners to repeat the instructions to you. You could ask checking questions and have them answer these. You could tap into the strengths of your more confident students and have these students explain to the class what you've just asked them to do. If your class isn't as confident, put them into groups and have one member of each group give the instructions to the rest of the group again. Use a framework, and a framework that I found really helpful is one that includes a frame where you signal or where I signal that I'm starting a new activity, as simple as saying, okay, now class, and then I have a brief summary of the task and its purpose. For instance, we're now going to do a speaking activity to revise some of the vocabulary you've just learned. The outcome, for instance, at the end of this activity, I'd like you to create a quiz for the rest of the class. You include the mode by telling them whether it's a speaking, a listening, a writing activity, so that they know how to focus on. If there's a strategy you need them to use, then mention this. Give them a timing for the activity and then Give them a cue to begin with 3 simple words, such as, okay, you may begin. Well, that's not 3 words, but off you go are 3 words which function really well as a cue. What do you do in your own classes that have proven effective in giving instructions? Do you find some of these tips mentioned here a little redundant? Do you have tips to add? Leave a comment below. Share with us your tips so that we can all learn from each other.